Students and participants, welcome back once again. So we'll be talking about finance, and that today is effectual finance. And as we told you earlier, that whenever you use the word effectuation, whenever you apply the word effectuation with marketing, it becomes effectual marketing. When you apply the word in food technology, it becomes effectual food technology. And when you apply Isha in gender studies, Isha, what happens? And when you apply this in your business, in HR, it becomes effectual HR. And Huda Sahaba, when it is applied in accounting, it becomes effectual accounting. And when it applies in finance, it becomes effectual finance. And when this principle and theories are applied on kids, you know what happens, Sayyid Muhammad? It becomes effectual parenting. And when you apply this in tourism and you're going for an adventure or a tour, we call it effectual tour, effectual adventure. So this is one of the great contribution, I think, of Sarah Saraswati. सजवर साहब यार अंधेरा बहुत है आपकी तस्वीर में. लाइट ऑन करो. बिजली गई है?
जी सर, बिजली गई हुई, जनरेटर चल रहा है. हम
चाहते हैं कि आपका रोशन चेहरा नजर आए ना, मुबारक नूर वाला. तो वो जनाब effectuation is a very interesting thing which is found within ourselves. It is organic. So today, Chipa Sahab will try to understand the AMAN model. And the AMAN model, Anisaba, I hope you remember, is making enough money out of nothing. तो मेमन नाराज ना हो जाए, ये प्यार से हम कहते हैं. हाँ जी हुदा गौरी साहब, आप मेमन तो नहीं है ना? आप तो गौरी मिसाइल है में से. अच्छा जी. तो ये मेकिंग इनफ मनी आउट ऑफ नथिंग, यानी इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि लिटरल मतलब है. इसका मतलब है कम से कम, और इसका मतलब नेगेटिव भी नहीं है, कंजूस नहीं है. किफायत, शारी, क्रिएटिविटी, इनोवेशन. So we'll be having today a very interesting story of a husband and wife, and we will see that how they made $1 million company using effectual finance. So the story is about Stacy and Mark, who are living in Boston, in the United States. Mark जो है वो psychologist हैं और Stacy साहबा जो है social worker हैं. और ये दोनों पढ़ाई के साथ साथ along with the studies they have been working in restaurants. और ये as a waiter काम कर रहे होते हैं. Isha साहिबा, you know, in the United States, in Germany, waiter and a waitressing job is pretty common among MBA and PhD students. Welcome Pavina Jansida to Pakistan. Good morning. So the MBA students and the PhD students, they do waitressing job. Anybody can tell me? Can anybody tell? What do you learn? What is something special in this job? Is it a difficult job, challenging job? What type of skills do you learn during this waiter or waitressing job? Kya fayda? What benefit? What skills are needed in this job? Can anybody quickly tell? Can anybody quickly tell? Arif, are you? MashaAllah. What skills are needed in a great waiter? आप बताएं, खाना तो खाया होगा ना कहीं आपने?
Sir, patience.
अच्छा, और इससे ज़्यादा what more? Yes, what next? Patience.
Good communication skills.
Communication skills. What next?
Sir, responsibility.
Responsibility.
Sir, they have to satisfy the customers.
Satisfy the customers. Mariam.
Humility.
Humility. What next?
The memory.
Ah, wow. ये किसने कहा जी? सजवर?
जी सर.
सजवर साहब, आप देखें ना, अब आप एक्टिव मोड में हैं, माशाल्लाह. चेहरा रोशन. ये memory is important. Why is it important?
It helps you remember your orders, the sequence, which table, which order.
Sameen Naveed Saiba, any idea?
Sir, I said communication skills.
Communications. Huda Saiba, नाश्ता कर लिया आपने? जी?
Because this working in a restaurant, they must know different kind of recipes. They must be learning.
आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी, आवाज जोर लगाए, नाश्ता करके आए ना, चाय शाय पिए, आपकी आवाज तो पहुंच ही नहीं रही। अच्छा जी।
I'm saying that they must know the recipes.
हाँ।
Because they
यानी
working in a
वेटर को
restaurant.
रेसिपीज का पता होना चाहिए ईशा सर? वेटर को रेसिपीज का क्या पता होना चाहिए? Does the waiter need to know about the recipes?
Sure.
Okay, so let's move on. And I was teaching in Germany, and one of my students, she was from Iceland, and she said she has been doing waitressing job. These waiters and waitresses are very super intelligent people. And that's why I think we need to do these small tasks. In Pakistan, we would have considered it very bad thing, but this is what makes people great, actually. Waiter and waitressing is a selling job. You are selling the food. You are a face of the business. You are a face of the business. So your dress, your language, your accent, your gesture, your tone, your smile, and the ability to understand your customer and to memorize कि जनाब ये सैयद मोहम्मद साहब आए हैं, ओ सर वाओ क्या हाल है सर, माशाल्लाह आपके बाल कितने अच्छे हैं सर, ये थोड़ा सा ज्यादा हो गया लेकिन ये तो मैं इसलिए कर, और सर वो आप यानी वो इतना बेतकल्लुफी होगी कि सैयद मोहम्मद will look at him and he will say, hey Mr. Tariq, how are you, what did you have for me today? You know, if you go to barbecue tonight in Karachi, I have experienced that these waiters are amazing. And some of them even remember the name and they recall and they tell and they guide and they help you to order. And whenever people enter, each waiter is looking for who is his loyal customer. So this waitering and waitressing jobs teaches you psychology, teaches you how to sell, teaches you how to talk, teaches you manners. So that's why when I've been teaching, I've really found this. BBA program, the most important thing in BBA and accounting and finance is to know how to sell. Pasit, Punal Chart, welcome to Pakistan. Vadika. And so what happened was they both had an experience in California, food industry, and they knew the trends, and they knew that what the trends are coming, and they knew that the West Coast is more in new concepts, and they knew that these trends moved to the East Coast. They believed in healthy diets, but what happened was their steady loan went so high that they went under a heavy debt of $370,000. So what happened was they were wondering how to recover and how to pay this money, Isha. And they came to know that this is not a good place to live now anymore. They migrated to the East Coast. This is the East Coast. And they wanted to do something to make money and attracted to food business. So they said, let's do something around food, because that was their bird in hand. They loved that and they were doing that. So, but they had very less family support. They had to meet their day-to-day needs, what to do. So they started thinking. So if you look at your bird in hand, so the first question is bird in hand and affordable loss. The easiest thing Pasit and Kanchan Sunil they could do was they got hold of an old card, maybe $2,000. And they knew the recipe of making hot dogs and they started making this. So on a street of Boston, they're selling hot dogs, but this is not an healthy diet. And this was continuously poking them in their minds that although they're making some money, Pavina, but hot dogs are not good for health. It makes people obese. They make people heavy and fat. And they said it is not for our value system. So, but they had started something and they were just wondering what to do next. What shall they do to make some money and at the same time do something which is good for humanity? So because making money by making others lose is still not that good. So what happened, Pasit, was they started thinking they had 4 options. So whenever we look for another idea, the effectuation theory says what to do. Faisal bin Badr, the effectuation theory says look at alternatives. How many options do you have? So they started looking at options and they had option number 1, 2, 3, and 4. The option number 1 was keep selling sausages from the push cart. Option 2, keep selling junk food and start looking for new jobs. Option number 3, to go something new, go for Californian style sandwiches. And option number 4 was to do something else. So now once you write the options, then you know what to do. Apply the bird in hand principle and the affordable loss principle and see which idea is better. So when they looked at the idea number 1 and the purpose thing, they found out that selling sausages is not within their purpose. Doing a job they have done already. They have a lot of loans, so this is not going to help them. This is not consistent with their goals. So only these 2 things are left. This they know, this is closer to their bird in hand. This they are not aware of. So let's leave this for a while and let's do this. So you see, if you go to an MBA program doing multi-criteria decision making, there's a course, Sayyid Muhammad. There's a 3-credit hour course called multi-criteria decision making, which I studied from Bangkok. When I was studying in Bangkok, Asian Institute of Technology, Pasit 93, 94, I took that course and my professor was Tabu Khanan, and it was so mathematical, Mikhail. It was so mathematics, numbers, and at the end of the day, Huda Ghori, we were nowhere. We were learning math, and at the end of the day, we were making decisions coming from. So that is the power of effectuation theory, that it has translated our gut feeling into a very simple way. And those people who are spending millions of rupees and learning corporate finance and still they're not able to make decisions. But this effectuation theory makes things simple. So they said, let's do that. And they went for that. And and then what happened was, they started looking at the pros and cons. They said if they want to make sandwiches, they need to look at its expenses. What are the ingredients? They need a push cart. They need some time. So where to get the ingredients? So this is the entrepreneurship coming in. The accountant will tell about this and the finance people will tell about this, that this is my investment. I need ingredients. I need another push cart. And I need time. This is economists will say time value of money, opportunity cost. So as an entrepreneur, you know what will happen? They said, hey, fresh ingredients, the Maiman comes in. What the Maiman says? Could you get yesterday's bread cheaper if it is healthy? And they checked it from the doctor and the doctor said it is worth using after like 24 hours, within 24 hours. And this is maybe 10 hours old bread. Could you get a deal with the pita manufacturer? You can cut cost here. Push cart. We already have one. And maybe we can use the same one and stop making hot dogs and use the same one. Time. How do you count time? Do you know? So what are they doing? The husband and wife, they have a lot of time. They already have like 7-8 hours a day. So if you already have 7-8 hours free, so what we call affordable loss, I can afford to lose 7 hours. So what happened was that couple, 97, the couple decided to make and sell pita wrap sandwiches on a push cart in Boston. And here you go. Here you go, and we see that they started making sandwiches. And after a few days, they saw an interesting thing. The demand surged, demand went high. And they saw people got in lines. And the line grew so long that they found out that the last customers, they started trickling away. And they, ab kya hua hoga janaab? And they started something. They started thinking something. Anybody can tell? What would have they thought? Can anybody tell what would have they thought, sir? Ji, kya socha hoga? What would have they thought? Anybody can share me, please?
Sir, expanding their business.
Very good. Kanchan, Sunil Saiba, what would have they thought? Expanding their business, very good.
Sir, I think
Yes,
they said they would expand it.
They started thinking, hey, we need to expand it. And how to do it? Are they MBAs or Maimans? Pasit, we use the word Maiman and ingenuity in our culture. These are savvy entrepreneurs. These are traditional entrepreneurs in our culture, and they are everywhere in every culture. And they are very creative, and they're able to do things with very less money. So what happened was they started thinking what to do. So what are the options? Number one, buy, once again, Chipa Saab, they will go for, here's my options. One option is to buy another cart. Another option is to hire more people. Another option is to ignore the queue and let those people who are seriously interested stay, otherwise people can go or find. So once again, you get the options. What are the decision-making principles? Write down the options and then what to do. Sayyid Muhammad, what to do, the next step? Write the options and then apply which principles? Bataiye, tell me please. I told you 10 minutes ago.
Sorry, sir. My bad.
Write the options and then apply which principles? ये लिखा हुआ सामने यार, नजर नहीं आ रहा, अब बोल दो यार। ये आप तो class 2 से भी पीछे चले गए. Nemi Sahaba was saying our class 2 kids, I would recommend you to come and attend the class today, 5:30. You will see class 3, 4 kids doing similar cases. Attentive. So first write the options, then look at the bird in hand and see which is more relevant. They started looking this. If they want another card, they need another $2,000. That is a lot of money. Hiring people will be requiring more money. Ignoring the queue is not good. Isha, ignoring the queue is not good. That is arrogance. People are waiting. We should take care. So they started reflecting. They said, let's try this one. So they started and they said, let's make people stand in the queue and make something interesting for them. And you know what they thought? 3 ideas. Maybe ask somebody to bring a violin and stand and start singing. So the people in the queue will get engaged. Or maybe give them coupons. The 10th, 11th person and 12th person in the queue is given a coupon. Coupon means 10% discount. And then they came up with another idea, Tabab, that why don't we give them snacks? The 10th person, he will be given something to eat, chew. So to keep him busy for 10 minutes, so that he doesn't drop away. So these are 3 options. So this option, once again, about a bird in hand, they have to hire somebody and pay him like $50 a day. Coupons, they will be losing a lot of money. 10% sales will be less. Offering snacks, and they came up with a very interesting idea You know, Pavina, they found that they had leftover bread. Leftover pita bread was lying. They said, hey, why don't we cut pieces of this bread and put cinnamon powder on it and use it as a snack? And how much money is spent here, Sayyid Muhammad? Kitne $1 million? How many $1 million will be spent on old pita bread? Isha, how much money will be spent? I can't hear you. Your mic is not working today, Tawab. How many $1 million, $1,000, $1 billion?
Sir, a very limited amount of money because it is just the leftover of the other night.
Leftover pita, maybe $10. And so what happened was, they were, ye main skip kar deta hoon, they went for this. They went for this, Sayyid Muhammad. Leftover pita breads. And they decided to offer snacks. They cannot buy something off the shelf. They sprinkle it with cinnamon and garlic. Pasit, you are understanding? You understand what is this English okay? Is my speed okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Welcome. I like the smile of my Thai friends. Thai people are very kind. And you know, Pasit, what happened when I was living in Bangkok? The Pakistani Indian people, we talk loud. And the Thai people talk very soft. Kanchan and Mikhail, you know, Thai people talk so soft, very soft, very kind. And when Thai people used to listen to us, they thought that we were quarreling and fighting. They are so soft spoken. Is it right, Pasit? Am I talking right?
Yeah, sure.
Pavina?
But some people, I think, they have not speak soft. I think
They speak loud. We are kind people, but this is our way of shabab. So Pakistani people are good people, but when we talk a bit loud like me. So many Thai people used to think that we are angry. So this is how cultural things vary. Many times in Thailand it happened. We were talking, they said, oh, what happened? So great. Our friend from Chiang Mai is here today. Is Parnmada is here today? Parnmada,
Yeah.
are you there?
Yes, but I have EQ today, so I cannot turn on my camera.
What are you happening today? You're eating?
No, I have like EQ. Yeah.
Okay. Welcome, Parnmada. Welcome to Parnmada from Chiang Mai. So my dear friends, what happened was they made these chips to offer them to people who were standing in the line, and you know what happened? Isha, the lemonade principle happened. When nature gives you lemon, make lemonade. You know, the 11th people who was standing in the queue, when he approached the cart, you know what he said? You know what he said? Anybody can guess, Kanchan? When he approached this cart and he said, sir, I want to order.
He wanted to buy the chips himself.
He said, I want to buy chips. I have just eaten it. It's tasty. It's amazing. I don't want sandwiches. So these chips were in demand. The original idea went off and they got a new lemonade. And what happened was, said, whoa, we have come up with a new thing. We have to do something different. And what are the options? Once again, Mariam Abbas, what to do? Write down the options. If you are a computer scientist, write down the options. And what next? What to do? What next, Mariam? After the options, what to do?
Apply the bird in hand.
And the affordable loss principle. That's it. And whatever is close to your heart, just follow it. So one option is to license sandwiches and chips, license them, partner with somebody, obtain funding from a bank, partner, get a license, obtain funding from VCs for sandwich business, obtain funding for chips. They looked at the bird in hand, they said partnership, too difficult now at this stage. Loan is a big no because they are already under loan. Nobody will give them funding because they are already under loan. They said, let's do something, find out some other alternative. So they started wondering and they were not clear what to do. They were thinking and thinking, and you know what to do when you are not clear? Amna Saiba, Amna is our student from the MBA program, and she's as a part of the coordination team. Amna, when you are not sure what to do, and when you are not clear what to do, तो फिर क्या करना चाहिए? Fatima, you are in the class. Fatima Ali. When you are not clear what to do, फिर क्या करना चाहिए? Stop and think. Speak to others. Talk to others. Find an old man around you. Find Mr. Bird around you. And Mr. Bird can be in the form of your husband, your wife, your spouse, your brother, your sister, your younger brother. It can be anybody. They talk to people, read journals. This is called marketing research. This is called marketing research. You just talk and reflect, and reflect. And then what happened was Uzair, they found out out of that conversations, they found out that chips will be a better idea. Sandwiches will not be a good idea. Chips is better, but to make chips, they need an oven. Chipa sab, chips, to make chips, they need an oven, they need space, they need a machine to slice, they need ingredients. And this, can you get this for free, Uzair sab? Tariq Road, can you get this for free, an oven from Tariq Road? No, this needs dollars, this needs dollars, this needs dollars. And these are entrepreneurs. Ab kya kare? What next? They need to think, which lens do they want to wear? Parveena, have you seen this lens? Have you seen this lens? This is the effectual lens. So they decided, they had to decide which lens is good, the causal lens or the effectual lens. And then they find out that are they thinking big or thinking small? If they're thinking big, then of course they need a loan, but they're already in debt. So what happened was, in January 1999, they decided to go for the effectual lens. And you know what happened? Something interesting happened, Mikhail. As Mark was going on the road, he saw a bakery, and it was 8 p.m. maybe, and the bakery was shutting down. So Mark went in and said, Sir, can we borrow from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m.? Can we borrow or rent your place from 8 p.m. to 12 p.m., Sajwar? What an idea. And the owner agreed. He said, yes, I'm shut. You can use my space and my oven and my cutting machine for 4 hours every night for a small piece of money. This is Mehman Pan. This is entrepreneurship and creativity. And they got the whole setup. And in few months, they made $450,000. Hassan Rashid, $450,000. The business kept on growing, but the bakery space is too small. What they are thinking now, Samin, Naveed, kya soch rahe hain? What are they thinking now? To expand. So once again, to expand, they need Nimi, Amna, they need a lot of money. And so what next? Then another options coming in. What are the options? Look for another space. Do they have their own space? Can they share it from somebody? Will they need to borrow money, use their own cash? So you see the bird in hand principle. They find out it is very costly to get a place in town. Outside the town in suburbs, they find out a cheap warehouse. Cheap warehouse. They find and explore a cheap warehouse. Okay, sorry. Before we go into this, they need to find a space. Cost is an issue. They need to understand what is the variable cost. Where is the real cost? Where is the real cost? So where is the real cost? The real cost is they need to have an oven. Oven is costing $160,000. They can ask somebody, an indigenous oven maker, to make it for $80,000. Second hand comes for $13,000. Ingredients they want to go for fresh ones and or real ones, but pita bread few hours old can work. Slicing machine new is $1,000. Second hand is $18,000. Staff, they have 15 people. For additional, they need maybe more people. Packaging machine, they can go no longer second hand. They can't do it with hand. They need a second hand. They need a machine, but second hand is not available. So you need to know the real cost. What is your accounting? What is your fixed cost and variable cost? Once they knew that, they started applying the bird in hand principle. And this is called the bootstrap financing. Bootstrap financing says, never buy what you can rent. Never buy what you can rent. Never rent what you can barter for, exchange for. Never exchange for which you can borrow. Never borrow what you can get for free. So here you go. And they found out what to do next, And so where do you find money? Where do you find money and resources? From friends, from family, from VCs, banks. It's difficult to get from these places in the beginning. Not so obvious resources. Maybe your customers can jump in. Your suppliers can jump in. Your advisors and friends can jump in. So they started looking, and you know what they did? They found out that the government had announced a Faisal bin Badr, a scheme that to promote women entrepreneurship. And they said if there's a woman majority stakeholder, they can qualify for a soft loan. So what they did was, Stacy was made the majority owner of the company, and they qualified for a $60,000 loan. And they used that money to buy that packaging equipment. They partnered with an oven manufacturer, and by paying him $80,000, half the original price, they purchased the second-hand oven, the second one, from a bankrupt bakery using their credit card. How does a credit card help, Faisal bin Badr? If you purchase a credit card, is it bootstrapping?
Yeah, it gives you time.
How much time?
55 days of time of circulating the money.
52 days, 55 days of time. You got that. They bought a 40-year-old carrot slicing machine. And you know, Mark knows basic engineering, and he just sits. They hired a suburban warehouse. And then you know what happened? Shifa, they needed furniture. If you want a new furniture for your business, you know what Shifa Zubair will do? May I tell? She will go to Interwood, the best shop. And she's an IBA graduate, accounting and finance or MBA?
Accounting and finance.
Accounting, फिर कहाँ जाएंगी? Where would you go? Interwood or
Sir, a wholesale market.
अच्छा आपने course पढ़ लिया ना इसलिए. If you had not taken this course, then of course she will go to the best place, Interwood. And you know where did they go? These husband and wife. They went to their grandpa, grandma, khala, nana, dadi, puppo, And you know what they did? Khala, aapki kursi tooti hui hai, ye mujhe de de. Your chair is broken, Khala, can I get that? Auntie? They got it repaired and they got all these things for free. So the factory was set up in an old warehouse and they hired Stacy's brother. Brother-in-law को hire करना अच्छा है पाकिस्तानी culture में? Is it good, Tawab साहब, Sala साहब को? Brother-in-law, what is the pros and cons? खुदा साहिबा करना चाहिए दामाद को. Sorry, brother. जी, Huda Gori. Is it a good idea?
Sir, दामाद को क्या करना चाहिए? Can you repeat the question?
Shall we hire him for in your own business?
We can, if he is trustworthy and not a nonchalant, so we can.
Ye Faisal bin Badr, I think you can tell yaar.
It's a very risky idea because normally
Loud, bit
partnerships. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, now it's good.
Okay, it's a very risky idea because if the partnership or because of any reason the professional relations don't go well, it will have a serious impact on the personal lives and the domestic life as well.
It depends on the culture and it depends on areas and it depends on relationships. Aina, welcome to today's session. And so the point was that to hire their brother-in-law, they hired him. You know why they hired him, Faisal bin Badr? Because they hired him on a contract that he will be part owner of the profit. So they were working on cash flows. They were saving the cash flows. They were not paying him accounting students. And they said when they will need more staff, they'll hire temporary. They said we will not spend money on advertisement. They will go to trade shows, cooking demos. And you know what happened? And an interesting thing, Babson Business School is #1 in the world in entrepreneurship. Babson Business School came to them and said, we want to invite you as a guest speaker. Can you come to our business school? You know what they said, Aina? You know what they said? They said, we were willing to come to your business school as a guest speaker, but in return, can you make our website, please? You see, an entrepreneur is always trying to find opportunities. And these young kids knew in Babson, every undergrad student, every BBA student is taught IT, digital marketing, information technology, website, web designing, application designing. That's why I always say to my accounting and finance and business students, please get serious. And Sajwar, no yawning. And get serious and learn skills. Nazarene, we were missing you. Late. So what happened was they were able to get this website. And so the quick story once again, this husband and wife, they moved from the West Coast. They had a loan here. They moved to the East Coast. They started selling hot dogs, then Californian style sandwiches. And then they had a long queue. They started, the unexpected happened. They offered chips. And after chips, they rent a space from the bakery and they go to Spurs. They open their own factory. And you know what happened? Aina, Sajwar, you know what happened? This small business we started from on the road on a cart in 2005, the sale was $1.3 million. In 2005, they had $60 million sales, and they sold the company to Pepsi. These are the chips, Stacy's pita chips, the factory. These are breakfasts, the video, and look at this. So we're heading towards the end because our guest speaker has arrived. So this is called effectual finance. Effectual finance says that how to get money, how to deal with money. I will not be explaining in detail. This will be in my presentation on YouTube. This is available on YouTube because we're running out of time. So how to, when you have less money, How to deal with your suppliers? Do this. When you have less money, you can work with your customers, which can help you to raise money. You can work with your investors, you can raise money. HR, how to be good with your HR to overcome this problem. So these are the rules. Never buy what you can rent, never rent what you can barter, never barter what you can borrow, never borrow what you can go for free. And these are some principles of bootstrap financing. And thank you very much. I would like to go towards our guest speaker who's there. So Janab Chipa Saab, how are you?
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum, how are you? You're fine, great.
Good, sir.
Okay, mashallah. You know how we came to know about this gentleman, Yunus Chipa? Yunus Saab, you know how I came to know about you?
No, sir. Honestly speaking.
This is called the lemonade principle. You know what happened, my dear students? There was a gentleman who was our digital marketing teacher, Munawwar. Munawwar is our digital marketing teacher, Munawwar Saab. And he was teaching digital marketing and he gave your example. You know what his example was? He said that his iPhone or his laptop, the wire got damaged, and he was looking for a replacement, and instantaneously he went to the Facebook page and he said that this is the picture and a query. And my students, in few minutes, this gentleman Yunus Chipa, in few minutes, I don't know exactly 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
3 to 4 minutes.
In 4 minutes, he said, yes, I'm going to solve your problem. And he said, okay. And he looked at it, and in next few hours, in 3 hours or 4 hours, the cable was in the house of Mr. Munawwar in Karachi. So, and he told your story. And I said, I want to meet that gentleman.
But actually, I sold my charger to him, and I gave my cable as a compliment. आप use करें कोई मसला नहीं, मुझे charge के बाद दे दीजिएगा.
So you see, that is why, look at this, how good things come back. Yunus Chipa, how good things come back to you. You did something good to him. You did something, honesty with him. You were pleasant with him. You did customer satisfaction. And now 43 people from the world are listening to you. You know, in this audience, people are from Bangkok, from Africa, from Russia, from Azerbaijan. Wow. Tell us something about yourself. What is your education and what are you doing?
Sir, I started my career in 2004 as an internee in Apple Store. Karachi में एक Apple Store खुला था नया और मैंने इंटर के एग्जाम दिए थे और
So I will be translating for you, okay? You can talk whatever you like. I will then translate.
Okay. Then I started as an internee in Apple Store as a technician. But मुझे as a technician मजा नहीं आ रहा था. मुझे I feel कि this is not my job. Then I started sales. मैंने sales शुरू करी. My boss said, now you would want आप सेल करो, टेक्निकल में आप नहीं कर सकते का.
So let me translate. This gentleman, he joined an Apple store and as a technician, but very soon his boss said that you seems to be good in sales. Hans, you're in the car. Hans is from Bangkok in his auto. That's auto? Swadika. That's auto or their auto? Welcome. So, Yunus, what is your qualification? Did you do engineering?
BCom. BCom part.
So he's a bachelor's in commerce.
Yes.
So what happened next? उसके बाद क्या हुआ? उसके बाद क्या हुआ?
सर उसके बाद gradually sales में चलते रहे, लेकिन मेरा vision clear हो गया था एटलीस्ट कि मुझे अब business करना है, जॉब नहीं करनी. उसका रीजन ये था कि मैं जब अपने बॉस को देखता था तो मुझे इंस्पिरेशन मिलती थी कि यार ये सुबह आते हैं और बैठते हैं, काम करते हैं और उनके पास गाड़ी भी है, अच्छा काम भी है, तो कैसे करते हैं. तो मैंने
he said that I got inspiration from my boss that my boss has a car, he has a lot of money, he just talks and makes money. So why don't I also try to copy him? Yes. Next, over to you.
मैंने फिर उनसे स्टोरी पूछी उनकी, तो ही सेड यार मैंने एक फील्ड में कोई 10 इयर्स स्पेंड किए और यही सोच के किए थे कि नेक्स्ट टाइम मैं ये बिजनेस करूंगा. आई सेड ओके. अब मैंने उस टाइम अगर मैं पैसे देखता या मेरी सैलरी देखता कि यार कम है, मैं कहीं और स्विच कर जाऊं, तो वो एक पाथ क्लियर नहीं होता. आई सेड ओके. अब मैं उसी पे चलता रहा, उनसे ट्रेनिंग लेता गया. फिर उन्होंने मुझे सिंगापुर सेल्स सर्टिफिकेशन करवाई.
Okay, wait a minute. So you know what happened, Mariam, was, can you translate, Mariam, for me? What did he say? Can anybody in the next sessions I will ask people to translate, okay? So Mariam, you will do the next one after this one, and then Tabab will do the next one. So what happened was, after he said that he was getting very less money, and he used to think that maybe he quit, Aina. But then he said, no, I should work hard and learn from my boss, because switching will give me some more money, but I will not learn that much. So he for the next few months, he kept on learning and observation how the boss was selling. And then the boss arranged a certification from Singapore, online certification, staying in Pakistan. Yeah. What was the certification? How to sell?
Yeah, how to sell your product, basically Apple product. तो हम लोग हमारे यहाँ.
So Mariam, you will translate the next chunk. Okay, Mariam was.
पाकिस्तान में एक छोटी सी साइकी है कि कस्टमर को कोई भी चीज सेल करने के लिए पूछना है आपका बजट क्या है, उसकी काउंसलिंग नहीं की जाती कि उसको चाहिए क्या. अगर आप एज अ कस्टमर बन के कस्टमर की नीड पूरी करोगे, आप अपना गोल अचीव हो जाएगा.
जी मरियम.
So he's telling that in Pakistan there is a certain way that the customer behaves, and he doesn't know that what he actually wants to buy. So if you want to have a successful transaction with the customer, you have to put yourself in the customer's shoes and seek that what the customer actually wants. So when you know the need of a customer, you will be able to sell your product more effectively.
Very good.
Exactly. सर ये सिलसिला चलता रहा. आफ्टर दैट कुछ ही टाइम में इन्होंने मुझे हम लोगों ने एक और ब्रांच एप्पल स्टोर ओपन किया, तो उन्होंने मुझे वहां पे एज अ ब्रांच मैनेजर अपॉइंट किया.
यू विल डू इट. ओके जी, कैरी ऑन जी.
वहां पे एज अ ब्रांच आई वाज अपॉइंटेड एज अ ब्रांच मैनेजर ओवर देयर.
तब आप सब तर्जुमा कर दें.
So Mr. Yunus is saying that another Apple store was open and he was appointed as the branch manager there to actually control all the operations there.
उन्होंने आपको क्यों सिलेक्ट किया यूनुस? आप पे एतमाद कर लिया उन्होंने? क्यों एतमाद किया?
सर आपकी आवाज ब्रेक हो रही है.
उन्होंने आप पर क्यों एतमाद किया?
सर क्यों एतमाद किया? बिकॉज उनसे वो फिर सेल से हट गए थे. उन्होंने सारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी मुझे थी, मैं कर रहा था सारी सेल्स.
आप में क्या खूबी थी जो उनको अच्छी लगी?
मेरी कनेक्टिविटी बड़ी अच्छी थी कस्टमर्स के साथ.
आप मुस्कुराते हैं माशाल्लाह, स्माइलिंग फेस है.
और मेरी आज भी फ्रेंड जोन, मतलब एक बड़ी अच्छी दोस्ती हो जाती है कस्टमर के साथ. तो एक बॉन्डिंग जिसको कहते हैं, तो वो कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि मैं नो प्रॉफिट नो लॉस पे भी काम करता हूँ, जस्ट बिकॉज कस्टमर की नीड पूरी हो जाए. क्योंकि
you know what he's saying, Aina? He's saying that the owner trusted me so much, and I am a smiling face, and I make friends in minutes, and I help my customers, and I even sell them sometimes at no profit no loss. And that gesture is so powerful that people only come to me, and I have a long list of customers and loyal customers. जी next आगे चलें.
It's my thinking कि एक कस्टमर के पीछे 100 कस्टमर होता है. अगर आप एक कस्टमर को सही ट्रीट कर लो तो आपके पीछे 100 कस्टमर होता है.
You know what he says? Dr. Moses from Kenya has joined, professor of entrepreneurship. Dr. Moses, he says that after every customer, there are 100 customers behind him. Nazareen, are you listening? We can't see you today. After every customer, there is one. ये तो मैं इनसे सीख रहा हूँ भाई, बताओ. अच्छा आगे चलें.
नेक्स्ट सर ये सिलसिला चलता रहा. ब्रांच ओपन हुई, ब्रांच चली. अच्छा उस ब्रांच में इतनी हम लोगों ने बहुत जान लगाई. बेसिकली हम लोगों ने किसी और पर्पस के लिए वो ब्रांच खोली थी एज एन इम्पोर्ट, लेकिन वहां से भी हम लोगों ने फिर सेल्स स्टार्ट कर दी थी. आफ्टर दैट मैं फिर दोबारा अपनी मेन ब्रांच में शिफ्ट हुआ. जब मेन ब्रांच में शिफ्ट हुआ तो आई सेड टू माय बॉस नाउ आई हैव स्टार्टेड माय ओन बिजनेस, आई वांट टू स्टार्ट. तो ही सेड ओके, आप चाहे अपना काम करें और मेरे अगर मुझसे कोई हेल्प चाहिए तो मैं हाजिर हूँ.
So after some time, when he learned a lot, he requested his boss, sir, if you allow me, can I open my own business? And he was so committed and loyal to his boss. So remember, whenever you do a job, make sure you're honest. Never cheat your bosses. He was so open, and he had given so much benefit to his earlier boss that he happily permitted him to go, and he started his own business.
When I was starting my business, my boss gave me an iPod as a gift for my honesty and my dedication for my job.
MashaAllah.
Then now I want to start, but मुझे business के बारे में कुछ भी नहीं पता था, क्योंकि देखना और प्रैक्टिकल में बड़ा फर्क है. फिर एक मेरे फ्रेंड का ऑफिस था. ही सेड कि यार ऑफिस मेरा खाली पड़ा है, अगर आपको काम करना है आप कर सकते हो, कोई मसला नहीं है. मैंने वहां बैठ के काम शुरू किया, स्टार्ट किया. कुछ समझ में नहीं आने लगा. शुरू में जल्दी पैनिक हो जाता था कि यार काम नहीं हो रहा है. इतनी एफर्ट लगाने के बाद भी काम नहीं होता तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आता. फिर ग्रेजुअली काम होने लगा, क्योंकि फिर उन्होंने 3 चीजें सीखी. अगर आपके पास पैशन है, पेशेंस और प्लान है तो आपका काम हो सकता है.
He said, I learned 3 things. That gradually he never knew how to do business. He only knew sales. But he said that patience, perseverance, if you have these things, then things happen. Or how many branches do you have? How many shops do you have now, Yunus?
Sir, I have right now 1 shop in Karachi. और मैं यहाँ से होलसेल भी कर रहा होता हूँ, इस्लामाबाद भी, लाहौर भी और कराची भी.
माशाअल्लाह.
रिटेल भी है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह.
How many employees do you have? How many employees do you have?
Right now 2 employees.
You have 2 employees.
Yes.
And mashallah. So your parents are happy, alhamdulillah?
Alhamdulillah, sir. Parents are happy. My family is happy.
You got married?
Yes, sir. 3 kids.
Alhamdulillah. Mashallah. So जनाब, would you like to do a BBA from IBA? करना चाहेंगे हमारे पास?
सब बिल्कुल करना चाहेंगे.
वाओ. लेकिन यहाँ से 4 साल बाद जब निकलेंगे ना, तो कंचन साहबा मुस्कुरा रही है. फिर क्या होगा कंचन साहबा?
कुछ भी हाथ में नहीं होगा.
माशाल्लाह. तो आप कोई पैगाम देना चाहते हैं हमारे नौजवान बच्चों को, बेटियों को?
सर नौजवान मैं तो खैर इस
Your message for the young people?
बट ये है कि आप कोई भी बिजनेस करें, पेशेंस के साथ करें. क्योंकि मैंने बिजनेस किया था, मैंने फिर लॉस कर दिया था, खत्म कर दिया था, काम 0 हो गया था. मैंने फिर जॉब करी थी, फिर जॉब किया, के बाद मैंने दोबारा बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया.
So he said he has done this twice. The first attempt was a failure. Then he again had to do a job, again save some money, and now he has nationwide business selling in Islamabad, Lahore, Karachi. May God bless you, beta. और आप ये समझते हैं कि माशाल्लाह that there's a Harvard article वो ये कहता है entrepreneurs feel closer to God. The Harvard article Aina says that entrepreneurs, they are more humble. Those people are degree holders, they're salaried people, they're a bit arrogant, but these people who are entrepreneurs, they feel closer to God. आपको महसूस होता है आप खुदा ताला के करीब होते हैं अक्सर?
सर बिल्कुल, आप आपकी 4 दिन सेल दी हो, आप नमाज इतनी पाबंदी से पढ़ते हैं।
और जब सेल ज्यादा हो रही है फिर भी
ज्यादा हो रही होती है तब याद करना ज्यादा जरूरी होता है बेसिकली। वो बंदा
ये
बोलता है
जनाब, can you hear these comments from a BBA students from LUMS, IBA, NUST, GK? Huda Sahaba, could you hear these things? Look at the energy. आपका कितना मैट्रिक में कितने परसेंटेज थी? How
सर
much
मेरी
the scores?
65 to 70% था मेरा, अगर मैं गलत नहीं हूँ।
And FSA, FA, FSC?
सर एग्जैक्टली मुझे ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग याद नहीं है।
अच्छा, तो look at this gentleman. And he is माशाल्लाह managing a nation business. Welcome, बहुत शुक्रिया। आप अभी enjoy करें और मुझे भी अपना नंबर दीजिएगा और हमारा we have online entrepreneurship courses चल रहे हैं। So I think you should join our next course. And Asghar Azmi will take care of you. And I love you and I really appreciate.
Thank you.
Look at this. You are our hero. आप हमारे हीरो हैं। हिंग लगे ना पकड़ी रंग चुप। May Allah bless you.
कोई भी काम हो सब में हाजिर।
Aji, so maybe you can share
Thank
your
you,
number.
Yunus.
So what do you offer? Anybody who iPhone नया खरीदना हो आपसे ले सकते हैं?
बिल्कुल ले सकते हैं।
और पुराना रिपेयर करना हो वो भी आप कर देते हैं?
सर पुराना रिपेयर भी होता है, रिप्लेस भी होता है, नया भी मिलता है, सब होगा सर।
And you, what will you offer to our IBA students? Market rate देंगे या थोड़ा सा बेहतर देंगे इन्हें? Will you give them something better?
ये कम मिलेगा और लैपटॉप्स के ऊपर IBA स्टूडेंट्स को ये iSystems की तरफ से ये ऑफर है कि 6 months तक सॉफ्टवेयर सपोर्ट बिल्कुल फ्री है।
Okay, mashallah. Asghar Sahab, can you share his email and network on the chat
Yes,
box?
sir, I will do that.
और बहुत शुक्रिया, it was so pleasant. आपका मुस्कुराता चेहरा देखकर हमें भी दिल कर रहा है अभी हम बार-बार मुस्कुराएं. Great.
Thank you, sir.
Mashallah.
Thank you very much.
So our next over to Shiza and her team is there.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Yes, sir, we will conduct, but I think there is another guest speaker. Moses is here.
Dr. Moses will teach for 1 hour. Yeah, it's not a guest.
Okay, perfect.
He's a
Sir,
regular
can you
faculty.
also make us co-host the CED team?
जी जनाब, वेलकम जरी साहबा। हम किसको बनाएं? जिसको आप कहेंगे बना देते हैं जनाब।
सर सारी CED टीम को बना दें।
अच्छा जी,
जरीश, फातिमा,
असगर।
हम तो बहुत पुकारते रहे, आमना साहबा को आवाजें भी दी, वो थी नहीं, आमना साहबा का नाम था और ये कहाँ गई हमारे। So the first part of the session is over and I will be moving to the next part. वो कहाँ गए जनाब? अब्दुल्ला मुस्तफ़ा भी आ गए हैं को-होस्ट, जवेरिया, आमना, और कौन है जनाब? नीमी साहबा भी बन जाएंगी हमारी। So once again I'm thankful.
फातिमा अली।
Once again I would also request my class students to thank our team. Actually, the more you thank others, the more God likes you. God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, likes those people who keeps on thanking others. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Is it right, Aina? Is it right in Christianity? Did Jesus tell something about that? Can you share? Can you recall what Jesus talked about gratitude? Moses, would you like to share? Dr. Moses is also a practitioner, and Pavina Jansida is coming in. Yes.
Yeah, Jesus Christ says that we should be kind to people.
Should be kind to people. Kind to people.
Yeah.
Great. Great. So over to Zarish, over to you now.
I start.
Sir, in the meanwhile, can you make breakouts so that because we have a breakout activity right now, and
how much time we still have? We have to tell Dr. Moses when. How much time do you need, bache?
Sir, around 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, not more than that.
Dr. Moses, can you still enjoy another 10 minutes? Is it okay?
A break of 10 minutes?
No, there's this quick change of mood activity, because after listening for 1 hour,
yes,
after listening for the the brain gets tired. So we'll be doing a quick breakout activity, and you
All
can
right.
enjoy that as well.
Obliged. It's okay.
So Zarish, what to do? How many breakout rooms?
Sir, 6 breakout rooms. All the participants are renamed. I hope if some of them are not renamed, you can get them in C3, cluster 3.
Let them go. Okay. Let them. Let them go mix today. Is it? Mix
Okay, fine. You can do that.
Let you go
But
wherever you want. Our
but to
coordinators
keep
can
each
go there.
coordinators, yeah, but make 6 cluster groups. We're having each coordinators in each group. So
I will put the coordinators later on. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay,
So
sir.
how much time? How much time?
Sir, 10 minutes.
So here you go. You're going, and please select Moses. You can also go into a breakout room, enjoy what's happening there.
And we had a whole bunch of other people as well, and it was very interesting because we just did the activity, and then once we were done with the activity, we kind of summarized why it was so important to kind of just take a break from the hour-long lecture that we'd been in so far, and basically exercise our brain's muscles, right? That's the whole point of these activities, to kind of revitalize our inner selves and wake us up and get us moving and get the juices flowing. So yeah, everybody was discussing that. Dr. Moses said that he thinks very effective, and yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay, great. So I think it is all over for today for this part, and let's move on to our guest faculty member. And Asghar Azmi, it's over to you.
Yes, sir. Can you make him co-host, please?
इनका तारुफ नहीं कराना हमने तारुफ कीनिया का स्लाइड है आपके पास?
Yeah. So you have the slide, so. No, no, sir. You have it, so.
Okay, let me introduce Moses first, and then let me introduce Dr. Moses. Dr. Moses is a very interesting person, and Hamza yaar pankha band kar do yaar, shor ho raha. Just a few more minutes I will then share. So I would like to introduce my friend Dr. Moses, and all our faculty members, which we find is a very kind person, very kind-hearted, very loving, caring, respecting. He is from Kenya, and you see the picture, and he will tell something about Kenya as well. So you can see Mombasa. He is on the port city of Mombasa, and that is like 13 hours flight. See, this seems to be wrong. I think it will be around 7 hours, I think, from Mombasa to Karachi along the coast. And he is in this coast. This is an island. He's living in an island. We have Kenya Medical College, Kenyatta University of Agriculture, Mombasa Marshalling Yard. This is the airport, and he is Technical University of Mombasa. And look at, he belongs to a country of beautiful landscape. Wow. What a beautiful landscape. We have the mountains, snow-topped mountains, and giraffes. And that is the Technical University, which is, I think, 50 years old. How old is it, Moses?
Yeah, this is more than it was constructed around 1936. It's
936, around 80 years old.
Many years.
Now, this is the typical graduation ceremony at Dr. Moses University, his university, his campus, and he will be talking about. So Moses is a very important name in Islamic culture, and it is in our history, Islamic history, in Quran. In our holy book, his name is mentioned multiple times, and we revere him a lot, respect this name a lot, and that is an amazing name. And in Quran, God says, "Inna haza lafis suhufil ula, suhufi Ibrahim wa Musa." So we call him Musa rather than Moses. Moses is also correct in English, but in our script we say Musa.
Musa, that's right.
So this is so Dr. Moses did his PhD in entrepreneurship, and he's a faculty member here. and he likes to help people start businesses. He's trying to help poverty alleviation in Kenya using entrepreneurship. He has written many journal papers. He is on the board of many, like Journal of African Journal of Management, I think. And he has been to the US. And during one of the meetings with the American professor, we became friends. And this is how, and Kenya is a very vibrant place. Kenya is a vibrant place, and the capital, the name of the capital is
Nairobi.
Nairobi. Nairobi is a vibrant place for tourism, and there are a lot of even Indian Pakistani communities are there.
Sure.
Many Indian communities, they moved to Kenya like 100 years old, 80 years ago. They're doing trading, businesses. So I hope this is a good place to live. And so Dr. Moses he will be doing a very interesting case, which I love, that is Honey Care Africa. And you will learn that effectuation theory can also be applied in Africa. And you will see that one gentleman, Farooq Jiva, that how that one, Dr. Moses will explain that how one person can turn around and help a whole country and the neighboring countries, Tanzania and Somalia. So this is a very high energy story. Please listen carefully and ask very good questions. And thank you very much, Dr. Moses, for sparing time for the international summit. Great. Over to you.
Can you make him host, co-host, please?
Yes. Okay, let me make him.
What an introduction. Thank you very much.
So is it okay? Can you hear
Professor
me?
Shahidi.
Yeah, over to Moses.
I can hear you. Thank you very much, Professor Shahidi, for such an introduction. I'm delighted to join this particular class. As he has said, I'm from Kenya. Kenya is a beautiful country. It's located in Eastern Africa. And basically, when you talk about Kenya, most of you...
Just 1 minute, my friend Moses. We in this class, we have friends from Zimbabwe.
All right.
Yeah. From Nigeria.
Welcome, welcome, my brothers from Africa.
And Aina is your sister. She's from Namibia.
Namibia, welcome, welcome. In Southern Africa. I've been to South Africa and Angola, but I've never been to Namibia. Welcome. So thank you very much, Professor Shahidi, for such an introduction. I know the participants are excited to hear about the story of one entrepreneur, actually Farooq Jiwa, who has turned around Kenya. Now, I'll be able to share the screen for...
Just 1 minute. Can we check the sound? Okay, yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. So let me share the screen.
Screen share, the green button at the bottom, share screen.
Yeah, I've done that. All
right. You have to select the right PowerPoint. Go back. You have to go back because you share screen, and then there'll be a window. Out of those windows, select the one which you want to show. There'll be 6, 7 things coming out. Share screen.
Just a minute. Basic.
You need to reshare.
Just go to the screen. Go to share screen. Once you press the share screen, you will find. Once you press share screen, you will find a lot of screens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of that, select the one which is relevant to you. Can you?
Yeah, I can see 2 of them: whiteboard and Firefox post.
Just open. First of all, open your PowerPoint. First, open your PowerPoint.
Yeah, that's right.
You have done that?
Just a minute.
Now go to share. Now go to Zoom.
Go to
Zoom, open Zoom, share screen. Now go to share screen.
Share screen.
Now press share screen.
Just a minute.
Yes, yeah. We just missed. We just missed. Do it
I
again.
just missed. Let me do it again.
We need a special training on this. I will give you another.
No problem. No problem. Let me do once more.
Yeah.
Share computer sound, optimize screen. Let me optimize.
You press something double. You are too quick, I think, in doing something.
Yeah, no, not. Just
do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Let me do it again. Firefox whiteboard.
No, whiteboard. We don't need the whiteboard. Whiteboard.
I don't need the whiteboard. No. I don't need the whiteboard.
You need, man.
No, I think it has. I think the challenge. I'm having that challenge now. I just need. Mohammed, I think I had shared with you. Is it possible you can?
Oscar, do you have his PowerPoint? Let me open. Asghar Azmi.
जी सर.
I think can't be able to share.
You can, but somehow we're missing out.
All right.
Let me open.
Sure. Sorry for that.
But I don't know whether I have the right one. You sent the honey care one. You sent.
No, I did send.
Zarish has it. She can play it if you want.
I'm opening it.
Okay, sir.
Abdullah साहब मेरी वो मीटिंग की तैयारी भी करानी थी अल्लाह के बंदो.
जी सर मैं. जी सर.
And so how will I do it? Because I'll be.
सर ये जरीश साहब कर देती हैं स्लाइड.
Zarish, can you play the slides? Moses can take.
Zarish, can you do it?
Playing the slides?
Yeah.
I've been defeated to share it. I can't share it.
Zarish, you have the slides, or may I share?
Hey, can you make me host? I can share it if you.
आप अभी होस्ट नहीं बने हुए अभी तक?
No, sir. Co-host.
तो अल्लाह के बंदे पहले बनवाया करें ना. तो co-host भी तो बन सकता है. Co-host can also do that.
जी co-host ही बना दें सर इनको. आदमी सर.
So I'm making him okay. Great.
Not that one. I think not that one. This is the other one.
ये PowerPoint तो नहीं है ना आजमी.
This is the other one.
This is not the PowerPoint.
The social entrepreneurship. There were two.
Assalamualaikum. वालेकुम सलाम. जी उस्मान साहब हैं जी. हाँ जी माशाल्लाह. How are you, sir?
Moses sent me this yesterday.
Yeah. There's a second one, huh?
Okay.
It's in the PDF.
PPT आदमी साहब दूसरी PPT. मोज़ेस साहब से ले.
जी सर एक मिनट है असल में ना इस वक्त एक्चुअली सेशन चल रहा है तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि 1 घंटे के बाद बात कर लीजिए. हाँ जी जज़ाकल्लाह. वो असल में ना इस वक्त क्लास चल रही है तो मैं जल्दी से उठा लिया था. मैंने कहा खैरियत पूछ लूं. ठीक है जज़ाकल्लाह. जी so you don't have this presentation?
No, sir. This is the only one he sent me yesterday.
Okay,
so.
I'm sending you.
You don't have the second one, Mohammed. Maybe I can send you
this. I'm sending you.
It's written social entrepreneurship.
Send me on email because I'm connected with my mobile. So,
Oh,
or if
no,
you
how can
can
you
send
do
it
it,
to.
yaar? Mobile से कैसे करोगे यार अल्लाह के बंदे?
So
Sir, you
like.
can send it to me. I'll share it maybe.
Can I send it to you?
Yeah. Actually, which one? There's a Honeycare Africa one, and there is a entrepreneurship in Kenya. Which slide you're talking about?
The social entrepreneur. Or maybe let me just send to you right away.
Okay, send it right away again.
Sorry for that.
So Zarish will do it. Asghar Azmi is not possible from the mobile. Okay. मोबाइल से आप
I
कंट्रोल
don't have any
कंट्रोल
electricity right
हाँ
now.
नहीं कोई
So
बात नहीं वो आप मैं ये नहीं कह रहा मैंने कहा वो आप कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकेंगे ना वो
yes,
फिर
sir.
जिसके पास बिजली है वो करेगा. So ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the quick wait, but once again we will keep on discussing while things settle down, and anybody has something to share in the meanwhile. Aina, you're talking about that there's Maiman communities in Nairobi. Wow. Rutba Panjamani is saying that there are Maiman communities in Nairobi. How do you know that, Rutba?
Sir, my maternal side of the family, they're originally from South Africa.
Okay.
So a lot of them live in Nairobi, Durban.
MashaAllah, Zabardast. So Janab, very good to know. And so have you ever visited that part of the world?
I have visited South Africa.
Very good. Wonderful. And we have a guest coming. I've never seen her before. Nayasha. Nayasha, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello.
Nayasha Charity. Yes. Who are you? Please introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Nyasha. I'm from Zimbabwe. This is not my first class.
Okay, I saw you. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And you are from Zimbabwe. So can you introduce yourself? What do you do?
Like, I'm a student at Stanford International University. I'm doing international business management.
International business management. Oh, wonderful. And so which Zimbabwe, what is Zimbabwe famous for? Can you tell us something about your country? I can tell you one thing, famous for cricket.
Yes, cricket.
So Pakistan and Zimbabwe has something in common, that is cricket.
Yes.
Great.
You got it, Professor Shahidi?
I don't know, Zarish will be taking care of that. Zarish?
Is he sending directly to me? He doesn't have my email address, I think.
Acha. Okay, not yet. I think it's on the way. It's on
Your
the
email-
way.
Maybe I can also copy it to her.
No, let me, yeah,
Sir, I think you can take from him. Yeah, and then you can send it to me, maybe.
Zarish, I'm sending it to you. Okay.
Yes.
So,
Perfect.
Parmada, you had something to say? Parmada, you had something to say? So, Nayasha, what about these classes? Do you like the style? You enjoy Pakistan?
Yes, I'm enjoying.
Oh, you're enjoying this course. Okay, very good. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you so much.
Great. So Zimbabwe cricket team is marvelous. They have visited Pakistan multiple times. And I think it's good to know each other. We're all one family, you know, Nayasha?
Yes, I know.
All human beings are one family. We're
Yes,
all
I know.
cousins. We're all cousins. And all grandfather was Adam. And grandmother was Eva. So we are all cousins, irrespective of race, religion, color, and shape and language. We are all one family. This is the message of this course, entrepreneurship. And we have to love each other. We have to respect each other. We have to learn from each other. We have to take care of each other. So this is another interesting lesson. and I hope the things get right. But still, we have time. 1 hour doesn't matter. Dr. Moses, don't get panicked. It's fine. It's okay. This is this we call lemonade principle. When nature gives you lemon, make lemonade. So otherwise, I couldn't have introduced Nayasha. So anybody else in the course? Sami Shahnawaz. Aapko, I have never seen you, gentlemen. Sami Shahnawaz, if you are there. Shabab, you love space travel, is it, Shabab?
Yes, sir.
Who is this gentleman?
Yes, sir.
Your name, please?
Sami
Sahab, can you introduce yourself? आपको कभी देखा नहीं मैंने active सुनते हुए कहीं बोलते हुए. Can you introduce yourself? अच्छा हो गया, देख लिया. Oh, मुझे याद आ गया. वो आपकी तस्वीर.
I should introduce myself.
जी.
So my name is Sami Shanwaz, and I was originally brought up in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and I'm shifted here around 2011 in Karachi, Pakistan. I'm currently doing my bachelor's in accounting and finance at Institute of Business Administration, which is a really good business school in Karachi. And I plan on pursuing.
Are you sure?
I hope so.
Okay, great. Lumps people say we are smarter, but let me trust you. Yeah. Okay. Great.
So.
Sir, I've received it. It's downloading. Just few seconds left.
Sahapap from Bangkok.
Yes.
So how are you like? You have a space shuttle on your DP. You like space tourism? Why you selected that? There's a space shuttle picture on your Zoom link.
Okay.
You like to travel in space?
Yes. Maybe yes. Not sure about that.
Okay. So tell me something about you live in Bangkok City. Where do your parents live?
Same here. Bangkok too.
Bangkok. Okay. So why would what are the best sightseeing places in the city for young people? Sightseeing, visiting place.
Visiting place? Not sure about that.
And you don't understand?
Yeah.
Tourism places, the best places to tour.
The best place, I think Chiang Mai.
Chiang Mai. In Bangkok?
Chiang Mai, yeah. In Bangkok, right? In Bangkok, I think maybe Siam. We call like that one.
Is this the slide, Moses? Is this the right slide?
Just a minute.
Does it
Yeah,
have
you
the
got
case?
it.
But does it have the case inside?
Not really. No, not this one. I think Mohammed, have you received it?
I haven't received that one.
Mohammed, it's written social entrepreneurship in Kenya. You have it?
You have that?
Sir, I don't have any slide.
So you have that?
Sir, let me check. He has sent the same one again.
The same one. There is that one, SE promotion. Huh? You've seen SE promotion. There are 2 files there.
Yeah. Let me run this SE promotion, sir. Send to Zarish again.
Because I have, whatever I had was entrepreneurship in Africa. I don't have the social thing with me. Okay, in the meanwhile,
okay. I can be. Mohammed, have you received it?
I haven't received that. Anything today.
Mohammed,
I have sent it to Zarish again. So
Okay.
she'll be receiving in 2 minutes.
But you've seen it?
Gee, so once again, looking forward to a interesting session, and I hope
Yeah.
things get fine. And we have with us a lot of other people like
Yeah.
Gee, Faisal bin Badr Sahab, can you tell me something? What's happening in Australia nowadays? Faisal bin Badr, are you there? Michelle Becker, are you there?
Yes, I am.
So you are from that state, Luxembourg, is it?
Exactly. It's country.
What is something special about Luxembourg? It is close to Germany. You can speak German.
Yes.
Können Sie sprechen Deutsch bitte?
Yeah, ich kann Deutsch reden, and I can speak French, and I can speak Luxembourgish, and I can speak English, all the four fluently. And
Wow.
now yeah,
So,
that's the thing good about Luxembourg. We are
Can you tell
very
can you tell us something about Luxembourg to the audience in the meanwhile? Why is it different? What is something special? How is it different than Germany, France?
So first of all, it is very small. We only have 650,000 people of population.
Okay.
We are like from the south to the north, it's only 86 kilometers. And from west to east, it's only 56 kilometers. So it's very, very small. And we are very known for banking infrastructures and as well for
Okay.
steel. And yeah.
So this is your map. So can you see this? Can you see this?
Exactly.
So what is the? So on this side is Germany. So
Exactly.
I think Frankfurt is very near actually. Frankfurt is Cologne.
It's around a 2 hours drive. It's very close.
Great. So what is the population of Luxembourg? Like how many people live there?
650,000.
Oh, okay. It's a small. You know how many people live in the city Karachi? You know?
No, I don't know exactly, but I can imagine that.
You can imagine what is the population of Karachi? Anybody can tell Karachi ke logo?
I think it's 16 million. Searched around 3 million. 16.
20 million, man. 20 million.
20, it's around 20 million. Searched more than that.
It's more than 20 million. This one city where we are talking. So
Well,
what
it is
about
said
your...
to be more than 3.6 million, but the actual figure I think is 2.1.
Michael, Michelle, what made you come to Bangkok? What was the motivation to go and study that far away?
First of all, because I already made an internship earlier years in Thailand. That's where my heart fell for Thailand. And I wanted to get out of the Europe and Western mindset. Personally, that's my opinion. And that's why I'm here.
Do you feel a difference between Asian and Western mindset?
A huge, like it's actually two complete different worlds, to be honest. And I think personally that Asia is way, 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 way more developed than Europe or one of these.
Asia is more developed than Europe. Wow, what an interesting insight. How is it more developed? Listen, Shifa, look what
to
she's
simply
saying.
explain it, it's Asia. If you face a problem, you find a solution, a simple, easy solution, and you do that solution. Back home, we see the first simple solution. We cannot do it because any law says you cannot. Then you go on to very complex solutions, and at the end, it's not a solution anymore. It creates only more problems, but they kind of promote and market it that we Europeans think that we, are good off, but I mean, this is my personal opinion. I don't want to offend anyone or.
Yeah, and yeah, I appreciate you're honest. What about relationships? Do you feel the strength of relationships in Asian part more? The family thing and relationship thing?
Yes, even in general, like our government in Luxembourg, I feel like they only do everything in order to gain more profit, but no one wants to improve the people's satisfaction. It's always only like, for example, our when you want to buy houses or something, like our land prices, they increase by over 400%. It's only because Luxembourg only wants the rich people inside. They don't care about all the others
They
that
don't
cannot
care about the
afford.
common people
Like, and yes,
wow.
it's very different when you live there and experience it than rather than when you only hear about Europe. When you hear about Europe, you think it's all good and everything perfect, but it's not. It's just a huge mess.
So pictures are not explaining. The pictures of Luxembourg and pictures of Germany are not that good. They are good, but they don't tell the whole story.
Exactly.
Sir, you need to stop the screen sharing.
Just a minute. This is a very interesting guest. We have we have a great guest speaker from Luxembourg. Wow.
Yeah.
So Moses, if this would have not happened, we could have never known about this interesting. This is called the lab. No problem. No problem.
Yeah,
so,
we are hearing.
Thank you very much, Michelle Becker. And I think Zarish, we should give her more time. Maybe, are you enjoying the IBA thing, Michelle?
I do. It's just for me, the only reason I don't join every day is because my schedule here in Bangkok in my university is as well very loaded. That's the only reason I cannot join every day. Otherwise,
I would request you to try to attend sessions in the next days, and you will find very good sessions coming. If you find an opportunity, please join in. Thank you very much. Wishing you the best.
Thank you.
Over to Dr. Moses.
Yeah, a very interesting discussion. Becky, I've been to Bangkok, Thailand. I've been to Hon Han. Quite interesting. Thank you very much. So sorry for that. So participants, very much apologies. That's what is known as challenges in technology, lemonade principle. And sometimes in entrepreneurship, we also say that there's a push and pull theory, whereby the pull theory is the one that attracts, and the push theory is the one that gives you extreme to be able to become an entrepreneur. So thank you very much. Mohammed, can you make it to be full screen? I'll appreciate. So participants, I would like to say that I had given the introduction about Kenya, and also thank you very much, Professor Shahidi, for showing very, very nice pictures about Kenya. And talking about Kenya is in eastern part of Africa. Now, the eastern part of Africa, we talk of a tourism industry that is flourishing, and Professor Shahidi was able to show you the giraffes, very beautiful giraffes. Now, basically, Kenya is approximately 500 square kilometers, and basically we can compare it with in Asia. I don't think if there's any country that I know we can compare Asia with Africa, with Kenya. Now, next slide, please. Next slide, please.
Can you move it to next slide, please?
Move to next slide, please. Next. Now, they have already introduced my particulars. Now, talking about Kenya, as I said, it's Eastern Africa part. The capital city in Nairobi is Nairobi. Now, at the moment, Nairobi, has approximately 4 million people. And then the second largest city is Mombasa, where I'm located at, I'm found at the Technical University of Mombasa. Now, administratively, we have got 47 counties, and the population of Kenya currently is approaching 50 million. Now, this census was done last year, and official language, we have got English and Swahili. And when you talk about religion, the dominant one is Christian, but you go to the coastal part of Kenya, we talk of Islamic. So Islamic is also recognized as a religion in Kenya. Now, basically, when you look at the GDP, is the one that is going to explain to us the reason why we're talking about this particular case. We talk of 97.4 or 4 billion, and mostly this GDP is accrued to agriculture. So agriculture is the backbone of our country. I already talk about agriculture. We're also going to tie it to the beekeeping in Kenya. Now, talking about the major sector, that's agriculture, industry, and services. Now, when I talk about industry, most of the industry are service-based industries. The manufacturing industry, as those from Africa will recall, we produce what we call raw materials, which in most cases, we don't have the industries that can be able to convert them into the finished products. Now, next slide, please. Now, I know Professor Shahid has already shown you the aspect of the country, but in relation to the case that we are going to talk about, we talk of Kenya being in the equatorial, not really in the, it shares the near to the equatorial region, and it has the savanna. That means that we've got parts of Kenya that are dry, and we also have parts of Kenya that are that experience good rainfall. Like for instance, when you look at the left picture there, that is basically the Rift Valley part, where we talk of agriculture, tea. I know we export a lot of tea to Pakistan and the Asian countries. In fact, they are the major importers of our tea. Now, the other one is the Nairobi city. Now, the middle one talks about the honey beekeeping, in the country. And mostly this beekeeping, is done in those dry areas and the semi-dry areas. And this picture was captured slightly around more than 200 kilometers, or we talk of 150, around something like 100 miles from Nairobi, that is Kitui. Next slide, please. Now, before I look at the case of that beekeeping, I would like to say that this is part of the social entrepreneurship. We need to understand what is social entrepreneurship. Now, basically, this is a branch of entrepreneurship. You know that when you're talking about entrepreneurship, there are so many branches of entrepreneurship that have evolved. Now, one of it is social entrepreneurship. When you're talking about social entrepreneurship, you know the word social, means to interact. And in this particular case, this social entrepreneurship has to do with the social value that we are giving it to our key stakeholders. This is according to Nation. And basically, the aspect of social entrepreneurship, in most cases, some people will tell you that it happens very, very much in the non-governmental organizations. Now, those are the so-called organizations that would like to maximize what we call the welfare of the people. However, from the business aspect, we've got very, very many aims of the formation of companies. We've got the basic one, which is known as for capital, enough of profit, which is the core aspect. But again, there is an welfare aspect, which is the social aspect. Now, talk about the Grameen Bank. I know those who come from Asia, you're quite familiar with the Grameen Bank of Muhammad Yunus. That is, whereby we talk of the group guaranteeing system, that has really been able to, to help a lot of communities. Now, another example is the Honey Care Africa that we are going to talk about. Now, these particular organizations, as we move on, they have got the social value. Now, in the next slide, please. we have different aspects of this particular of the social entrepreneurship. For example, we talk of a mission to create and sustain social value that is appearing so much. This is according, not just for private value. So whenever there is any organization that is being started or being run, the key aspect is to look at the social value, not the private aspect. And you'll agree with me that even in the governments, most of the government that are being formed, the aspect has always been on how, to maximize the social welfare of the people, but not the private aspect. Now, secondly, to explore and recognize opportunities to create better social value for their clients. This, according to Mott and Carnegie. Carnegie is a big company in America. So in this particular case, look at the social aspect of the people, the welfare aspect, and this particular feature, has resulted to what is sometimes in entrepreneurship we are thinking about the human entrepreneurship. How do you deal with the people? Are you going to deal with them in a humane way? Now, this, also these particular social enterprises, have an aspect of innovation, create new things. Like, for example, amid the COVID, we have seen most of these particular companies who are in IT sector are coming up with their social sites, like the Zoom, talk about the Google Meet, they are looking at it from the social perspective. In fact, the Google, when you look at it, the way the way they are getting into the market, they are first of all looking at the social aspects to assist the social the people. Now, the next one is act boldly without being limited, and then they weigh social financial returns, which are very important. And this particular aspect, I would like to talk about the social capital. That is the knowledge of the people. They look at it because when you look at the social capital, the knowledge of the people is the one that is going to, first of all, and to build up the capacity of the organization. And that's why sometimes some of the researchers have been looking at, why do we talk of venture capital? Do we also talk of the human capital? Now, having said that, next slide, please. Having said that, I think probably Shahid has left. Having spoken about that, we now have to look at this particular case, the case of Honey Care Africa. As I said, that Kenya basically is an agricultural-based industry in which we depend so much on agriculture. However, one man known as Farouk thought about how can we be able to assist the rural community. Of course, we depend so much on subsistence farming. Now, what is subsistence farming? Now, subsistence farming is where we make production for the sake of, to feed, not for selling to the market, but for home consumption. However, Professor Shahidi thought, not Professor Shahidi, but Jiwa thought, Farouk Jiwa, the founder of Honey Care Africa, came up with an idea of how he can be able to empower the rural community. Now, his basis, his argument was that, most of these farmers who are producing honey, they have been exploited onto the market. And sometimes, whenever they harvest this honey, they cannot get value from what they have produced. So he teamed up with some people and then came up with what is known as Honey Care Africa. Now, what is this Honey Care Africa? Sorry?
Dr. Shahid, can you make me co-host again, please? I got disconnected actually. That's why screen stopped sharing. Is Dr. Shahid here?
Okay. Yes, I'll be doing it. I'll be making you the
Okay,
host.
sir, you may continue.
I will be.
Yeah, please.
I might be leaving, so I will, because I have to go to a meeting. So you'll be the host, okay, Sarish?
Actually, there is a light breakdown.
So who is there which I can make a host?
Okay, you can make me the host. Okay, okay, sir.
Right. So thank you very much. So as you are going to see, this particular case, one of the
Sir, you need
objective
to make
whenever
me host and then,
sorry.
Yeah, that's it, I think.
I made it,
Thank
I
you.
made you. Sorry, Moses, yes, over to you.
no problem. So as Zarish is sharing the screen, I would like to say that basically when you look at most of these farmers in Kenya and other parts of Africa, basically you get that in rural setup, we have got very, very many farmers who are producing for home consumption. That is what is called subsistence, as opposed to cash crop farming. Why is it that way? It's because they have very little, or I can talk of very, very small farms. So next slide, please, Zarish.
Yes, I'm doing.
Please, thank you very much. So this is Honey Care Africa. Next slide, please. Now, we basically want to demonstrate the case, demonstrate how Honey Care Africa, the key aspect is empowering. How has it empowered the community, especially financially, in terms of being able to take the decisions and also being able to feel confidence in honey beekeeping and honey production. Secondly, to establish how tripartite model for sustainable beekeeping has succeeded in Africa. I'm going to describe about the tripartite model. And thirdly, to demonstrate how Honey Care Africa has nurtured entrepreneurship in Kenya. And then lastly, to identify the applicability of the tripartite model for the sustainable beekeeping in other places. So basically, whenever there is a case, we need to see what do we want to get from it. And I think you have gone through that particular case. Next slide, please, Zarish. Next slide, please, Zarish. Now, this is the owner of Honey Care Africa. Just a little bit on that. Move back behind, please. Back. The previous slide, please. The previous slide, please. Now, this Honey Care Africa, as I said, most of the activities in Kenya are based in urban areas. It is situated in Nairobi. And Farouk Jiwa, currently, if you Google Farouk Jiwa, is now in Canada. He's a lecturer in Concordia colleges in Canada. So this gentleman is of Indian origin. Now you can be able to see how he comes to Africa and then spots the opportunity and then be able to create a very big company that has been able to employ many people and also move to other African countries. Now, basically, this Honey Care Africa, as I'm going to indicate, and as you have read in the case, you'll be able to find out that this Honey Care Africa basically purchases honey from the farmers and also has been able to train farmers on how to come up with the modern styles of beekeeping. Now, that is the history of that particular company up to the social empowerment value chain edition. Kindly, I don't know if you can be able to share the first video. Will it be okay, or we share after the presentation? Kindly. Hello? Anybody there?
Yes, sir, we are here.
Can you be able to share the first video? Is it possible? Or we share after the presentation?
We can share it after the presentation, I think.
No problem. Yeah. Next slide, please.
Okay.
So in that particular video, you'll be able to see how Farouk has been able to grow. Now, basically, I said in the trading, empowering the local farmers. You can see in the first picture, you can be able to see how Honeycare Africa workers have been working with the local farmers on how to come up with a modern way of keeping honey. This is called Langstroth beehive that is quite good as opposed to the one in the last picture of keeping it in pots and coming up with such as structures which basically at some point you cannot be able to get quality honey. And you can be able to see in terms of the products how the value chain has been ensured by having different types of honey. And then you can be able to see even the marketing itself in the second picture. And then the modern way in the second row picture, or the modern way of harvesting honey. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Now, when you talk of this Honeycare Africa growth path, you can be able to see that the farm was began in the year 2000. And because of the macroeconomic conditions in Kenya, basically these farmers having problems in getting in how to get the income. So it's in the agriculture sector. And sometimes in the entrepreneurship, basically for those who are quite aware about the literature of entrepreneurship, international labor organizations were the first people to establish, to discover that entrepreneurship existed in Africa. In the initial studies, they indicated that agriculture was not part of entrepreneurship, but slowly by slowly, we are talking of agribusiness. Nowadays, we have incorporated it into entrepreneurship. So this is part of agribusiness, which is promoting a lot of entrepreneurship in agriculture. You can be able to see how the farm has grown. In March 2006, 48 full-time employees, as opposed to when it was being initiated by Farouk alone. And most of the people who have been benefited from this particular Honeycare Africa are women. Of course, we usually say that when you empower women, those who come from Africa or other places, it means that the society will not be able to be poor. Now, the business model is quite good. And that's when I come to what is known as the tripartite model. Now, the tripartite model in this particular case has got ways of benefiting the farmer as the producer, and then the farmer as the producer, then the farmer as the employee, and then the farmer as also the consumer. So we begin there with the tripartite model, of course, in the production, in the working, and then in the consumption. And then out of these 300 were microfinance leases, those ones who have been benefited from it, and then appreciating the modern way of keeping the bees, which is using Langstroth hives, as opposed to the pots and the traditional beehives. So in short, you can be able to see the impact that it has made. By 2006, we had 22,500 microfinance leases, and then 6,200 traditional hives. Next slide, please. Now, in terms of the marketing, you can be able to see how it has grown. Leading provider of honey, 68% market share, of course, in Africa, in Kenya and beyond Kenya. Like, for example, when you talk about eastern part of Africa, we are talking about Tanzania, Uganda, Burundi, Rwanda, Somalia, and then Sudan. And in most cases in Eastern Africa, of course, Ethiopia, Now, talking about East Africa, Kenya still remains to be one of developed a country in Eastern Africa. So this particular market goes beyond Kenya boundaries. Now, different types of honey, of course, there are 8 of them, and this shows us how the value chain has been nurtured with this, with the introduction of Honey Care Africa, extended product line. In fact, they are the lead exporters of beeswax to US under the AGOA, American Growth Opportunity Act. So when we talk of this aspect, the production, the working, and then the getting into the market, the consumers, we talk of tripartite business model, which also contribute towards the social development, the environmental development, and the economic value. So with this, we talk of the social entrepreneurship because farmers have benefited. So after 6 years, you know, you will see that Jiwa, who is the shortest man in this particular picture, the shortest one, has been able to be, you know, recognized by most of the organization. Now, I would like to say that firstly, this particular, this Honey Care Africa began as an NGO, whereby they used to provide to farmers through the support of international donors and government. But as time went, it has now become an enterprise. And this particular enterprise that is now trying to get, to maximize the profit onto the market. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Now, thank you, just leave it there. Now, this is explained by the next slide that is coming, the beekeeping equipment for the farmers, you know, the tripartite tomorrow. You can be able to see the activities. Now, we've got 2 types of the lines. We've got the dotted lines, and we've got also the continuous lines. Now, this talks about how the tripartite business model works. The honey care for the rural community, for the development organization through the donor agencies. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Now, the business model and key actors can be able to see that we're talking about how it has become a win-win situation. There's the impact to the investor, whereby the one who invests in it, the red lines will be able to see, to show how the financial support that he has provided. And then the dark lines will be able to show how it has benefited the farmers in terms of the social aspect. So they pay money, the low-income householders pay the money, and in return, they sell the package of honey, the snacks, and we can also talk of the smallholders. They buy beehives. Honey Care Africa provides, they buy, nowadays, they sell those beehives. Initially, what used to happen, if you read the case, you'll discover that most of these particular farmers used to, you know, the Honey Care Africa could loan them. They could loan them. And then in terms of those particular equipment, and then when the farmer brings the honey, what happens is that it becomes like a barter exchange, whereby the loan is cancelled based on the equipment that the farmer obtained. And then we have got professional teams who are now coming in, like, for example, us in academia who give out the research, tell about how to keep records. Next slide, please. Next slide. So these are the impacts of this Honey Care Africa. One, we have the activities that they have been able to impact on the community. They have supplied 2,950 modern beehives to smallholders, farmers by 2014. And currently, I don't have the figures, but it is very high, because when you go now to where the farmers are located, you can be able to see that there are so many of them who are now engaged in beekeeping, and then bought 25 to 35 tons of honey from smallholder farmers in 2015, and now it has gone up. It's even more than 100. And then employ and teach low-skilled people, of course, on how to practice beekeeping, and also how to harvest, as opposed to using the smoke. You know, there are modern ways of harvesting the honey. And then the short-term results. Now, 8,600 smallholder farmers in Kenya, Tanzania, Southern Sudan doubled their income. And then 75 positions have been created. The long-term impact is that more children have attended school. Farmers can upgrade their houses. You know, nowadays, if you come to Kenya, those in Kitui area, Kitui, and go to also Baringo area, can be able to see that more children, you know, more farmers are now having very nice houses, very decent houses. Decreased deforestation. I would like to say that, you know, also this Honey Care Africa has promoted what we call green entrepreneurship. You know, green entrepreneurship, that is the entrepreneurship free of pollution to ensure that the environment is clean. And then, of course, on the sector of employing tech low-skilled people, it has employed those who have been, have had very little formal education. 75 positions created and enhanced income created. So you can be able to see that the impact of this Honey Care Africa brought by Farouk Jiwa has been so immense in Kenya, and of course, even in Tanzania and Southern Sudan. And Kenya, nowadays, people can be able to benefit from it. Next slide, please. Zarish, next, please. Next.
Yes, sir, it's done.
Okay,
the
thank
key
you.
takeaways, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the key takeaways. Let's see the key takeaways, and then we can be able to watch the video, and then after that we have the activity there, and we can be able to have a discussion. Now, the key takeaway, first of all, you can be able to see from the case, there's an aspect of entrepreneurship, both social entrepreneurship and green entrepreneurship. And it can be practiced anywhere. How? When Farouk Jiwa, an Indian, you know, came to Kenya, you know, has been able to nurture entrepreneurship. So this tells us that entrepreneurship can exist anywhere. And entrepreneurship is the same, whether India, whether Pakistan, be it in Europe, entrepreneurship is entrepreneurship. Probably the only different thing is how do we identify those particular opportunities? How do we look at the opportunities? So it requires you to see those particular opportunities. Like, for example, when I was having a challenge in sharing the screen, perhaps to somebody else, that is an opportunity. Which type of opportunity can you be able to see there? You know, to get Moses and be able to teach him how to steer in this particular sharing of the screen. And of course, you can charge, and then that's entrepreneurship. Now, empowerment. The rural community have been empowered. And then the business model, that when you look at that business model, tripartite model, that is the social, economic, and environmental development. Starting from the keeping of the bees and empowering the community, you know, being the producer, being the worker, being the consumer, and then moving to how it has nurtured social, economic, and environmental development. Sorry for that spelling. Social and environmental development. You know, this is a tripartite because the social, the farmers are benefiting. They are benefiting in terms of coming together, sharing the activities, and then in terms of the economic, they can be able to get the money. And then the environment, they can be able to avoid deforestation, ensure that the forests are conserved. And then sustainability. Of course, the farmers now can be able to produce honey after being shown the way by Honey Care Africa. The innovation, they'll be able to see the new ways of keeping bees using Langstroth beehives. And then nowadays, we usually say that you need to link it up with the SDGs. You can be able to see Honey Care Africa has been able to satisfy SDG number 1, alleviation of poverty by people getting a coin and also getting income. Zero hunger. You know, of course, honey is a very good source of starch, and also good source, you know, of it's also medicinal. And then achieve gender equality, whereby we have got women who are the rural women who are now being involved in Honey Care Africa, and of course empowering them. And then SDG number 3, that's SDG number 3. And then lastly, responsible consumption and production, SDG number 12. Its impact, it has moved far away to South Sudan and Somalia, and of course, networking and associations. And so many of them that you can be able to mention. So at this particular juncture, I would like, maybe Zarish, you can be able to share with us that particular video. I don't know if it's possible, you can be able to go back and open it and then share it.
Which video? Can you please?
The first one, just only the first one. It's 6 minutes.
Zarish, do you want me to share that video?
You spotted it? Yeah, please. You can share it. You've seen it? No. You've passed. You've gone very fast. Yeah, just down. Just move a little. No. A little bit. On the same slide.
Zarish, the link is given on slide number 10.
Sir, are you talking about this slide?
Yeah, it's slide number 10.
Okay, so how
The first one.
First one.
Yeah, the
so
first
I have
one.
to play it through YouTube.
Yeah, just click on it and then it will. It's this one. Just click it and then you can be able to share it as a different screen. Down, please.
Zarish, link is given at the end. At the end of the slide.
Okay.
1 and 2.
Okay. Just a minute. I got it.
You got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Just a minute. I have to stop screen sharing first, and now I can do it.
You got it?
Okay. So now, yeah. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, it's coming. You have started sharing.
Can you all see my screen?
Sure.
Hello?
Yes, Arish, yes, we can
Okay.
see that.
Farooq Jiwa is a Kenyan capitalist with a conscience. He is finding a way to revitalize Kenya's exploited honey industry, make some money for himself, and help the rural poor. Here's his story.
For decades, it's been a long, hard road for beekeepers in Kenya. With little support from the Ministry of Agriculture and antiquated technology, the country's locally produced honey was barely noticeable on supermarket shelves. In the last 2 years, thanks to green entrepreneur Farooq Jiwa, Kenyan beekeepers have begun to claim their rightful share of the market. But even Farooq hasn't been involved in beekeeping for that long. He simply saw a business opportunity.
Why honey? Why not honey? I think it's one of the sectors in agriculture that's been ignored for a very long time in Kenya. Coffee was very well developed, so was cotton, so was tea. But unfortunately, for some reason, honey production was never really developed in Kenya as it should have been. There was no training provided and perhaps most importantly, no market support.
With the help of 3 local investors, Farooq started Honey Care Africa. His aim is to provide a source of sustainable income through beekeeping to the many subsistence farmers across Kenya. However, Honey Care Africa had to overcome one major obstacle. Traditional hives were inaccessible to women.
The traditional log hive is normally placed up in the tree about 25 or 30 feet off the ground, and because of that, it was only men who were doing beekeeping in Kenya before.
Yet in the Kitui district, southeast of Nairobi, almost half the beekeepers are now women.
What has been interesting about Kitui specifically is by taking the hive off the trees and bringing them close to the ground, we've broken the hegemony of the men who are able to go up and control this beekeeping sector. We've intentionally brought the hive to the ground level, placed it reasonably close to the home. In Kitui district, for example, we have about 47% of our farmers are now women and are able to use this money to pay for the school fees, to run the family, and open savings accounts as well.
All from honey?
All from honey.
These are my friends. Because I know they are my friends. They are making something I get money from. I don't fear them. Yeah.
This new ground level hive has changed the face of Kenyan beekeeping. It's known as the Langstroth hive.
There are 2 fundamental principles of the Langstroth hive. The first one is you have recyclable combs. There are combs where the bees are able to go in, put the honey in there. They're able to remove the honey without damaging the combs, which allows every harvest for you to get more and more honey coming through without the bees having to rebuild the combs. And secondly, what you try to do also is separate where the bees live from where they're storing the honey.
The secret behind an effective Langstroth beehive is the starter comb, which is made from natural beeswax.
A lot of people like to think of this comb starter as being the wallpaper of a beehive. You need to have the wonderful design and the wonderful smell in order to make sure that the bees are attracted to it.
It's one thing to attract the bees, but the farmers need to be attracted first.
How does it work for a farmer who wants to join the scheme? What we would normally do is we'd probably go out to the area where the farmer came from, go out and do a demonstration. If the community are willing to get involved in beekeeping, we would then lobby on their behalf through a non-governmental organization to provide the farmers with loans that can acquire beehives. We then provide training to the farmers, extension service wherever required, and then most importantly, a guaranteed market for them.
How do you help the beekeepers with a guaranteed market?
We sign contracts with them for long-term durations, 3 years, 5 years, sometimes even 10 years, guaranteeing to buy whatever the honey they're going to produce from them. We have a simple policy at Honey Care, it's called Money for Honey. And that policy basically means that we make cash payments on the spot to every single farmer, every single time.
On an annual basis, Kenya's beekeepers now earn between $220 and $400 from an average of 4 hives. With each of these hives containing a colony of up to 80,000 worker bees, Farooq is able to purchase honey from the farmers every 3 months.
We go out with a little pickup, a little tent with shade netting on 4 sides, and the farmers are told on a particular day will be at a particular village. We get all the boxes of honey together. Each farmer brings in his or her box of honey. It's weighed. It's then extracted on the spot using a manual centrifuge machine, and the empty box is weighed. The difference in weight is the weight of the honey.
Before the farmer is paid, Honey Care Africa deducts an amount that is then paid back to the NGO against the original loan for the hives.
Generally, the farmer will get about 75% of the value of his honey back in cash, and 25% is deducted mandatorily and given back to the NGO. And in terms of a loan default mechanism, this is probably the best way of doing it. Rather than giving the farmer the 100% and then leaving it for him or her to decide whether he or she is going to pay back or not, we deduct at the point of payment.
By using this method, beekeepers are usually able to pay off their loan within 1 year. Then on, every kilogram of honey produced makes a profit. And of course, the environment is profiting as well. With a sustainable income from honey, communities no longer need to sell as much charcoal. More trees are saved, and with that, more bees.
We specifically focus on the subspecies that exist in particular regions and never move bees around within the country. This probably is quite important in terms of preserving biodiversity as well, because as more and more trees are cut down and as more and more vegetation disappears, the local pollinators are being displaced as well.
In the long run, this will have a tremendously positive effect on Kenya's honey production. For Farouk and Honey Care Africa, there are many more shelves to fill.
What we're trying to do now is really develop a mass market for honey. So take it away from the suburbs and the important cities in Nairobi and make it available at every kiosk and every corner in the country. The idea here is we've experimented with a model. We think we're seeing some good results and some success. We'd be delighted to work with anybody who would want to replicate this in any other African country.
And Farouk's also going to Mexico to see how they have revitalized their coffee industry.
Thank you very much. So you can be able to see how Farouk has changed life in Kenya through creative and innovative way in agriculture. And with that, I want us to be able to see what important other key takeaways can you be able to get from this particular case. Anybody there? The other key takeaways,
Yes.
Please. Name me.
You want me to start the other video or the presentation?
Maybe you can go to those tasks. Probably it can be able to have a discussion.
Sure. Just give me a second.
He's going for a discussion maybe because I think we have 15-20 minutes left. Yeah, very interesting case.
Here it is. Can you see my screen?
Sure. Now just leave it there now. What key entrepreneurship lesson can you deduce from this case?
Yeah,
of course,
so you can keep writing on the chat box. Try to write answers on the chat box, everybody. And
Sure.
some of the people can speak. Selective people can speak.
Yeah,
And
that
most
would
of
be
the
better.
people can write in the chat box, please.
Sure.
Gentlemen, nobody's writing. Nobody's writing. Hassan, Nemi, Walter. You're supposed to write something. Kyle, Musaddiq, Shifa.
सर टाइप कर रहा हूँ मैं
हाँ जी. Adil, great. Sami, Kanchan, Tawab. So gentlemen, hurry up. Nazareen. Ghazi, Dayam, Shuhira, Faisal bin Badr, Amin, Mariam, Uzair.
Maybe Rashid can tell us. Rashid, what's your takeaway?
Where is Rashi? Zarish, people are here?
Sir, people are here. Zarish's
वो जरा
laptop has died.
मैं कल गलबा हाल तो नहीं तारी हो गए इस वक्त गलबा हाल जारी होता है ना 12 बजे के करीब sleepy people become sleepy so maybe I think
Sir, Mama Dawood raised hand and want to say something.
A lot of people are here.
Yeah. Guys, please open up your videos so that we can see you.
Yes, Shifa, what is your key entrepreneur lessons from this case study? What is the key lessons? These people will be marking. The team will be marking. Any good answer will be Isha saying socially and physically engaging people. Wow. Challenging the traditional role of the private sector. Engaging people is must.
All right.
तो जनाब इसकी डिले होने की दो वजूहत हैं, या तो आप इनकी तकरीर के दौरान मेंटली एब्सेंट थे और यही वजह होगी. दिस इज मुसद्दक साहब, तभी तो क्या ख्याल है इंटरैक्टिंग विद पीपल. वो अल्लाह के मतलब नकल लगा कर ही लिख दो, ऊपर जो लिखा हुआ है ना, इज्जत रखा करो बाहर के गेस्ट स्पीकर्स की. वो कहेंगे कि ऐसे लोग हैं जो नॉन रिस्पॉन्सिव हैं. So Tawab is saying welfare for others, helping the small scale farmers, social entrepreneurship. This is the easiest answer which Dawood gave, which could have come. And even a class 2 kid would have written that at the end of this session. But I still appreciate that at least you are above class 2. Dain Khan, which is not typical approach we see around the corporate sector. That's good. Okay. What else? What else? In which ways, question number 2, in which ways has Honeycare Africa been successful?
In its endeavors.
Yeah, so Musa, Dr. Moses, you take over. I will be leaving for a meeting. So I really appreciate your, so you have another 10 minutes to wind up.
Sure,
and wish you the best.
Thank you very much. Rashidi, how, in your opinion, how has Honeycare Africa been successful in its endeavors?
Dr. Moses, are you specifically asking a student?
Yeah, probably the ones that I can be able to see on my screen are the ones maybe they can give a trial, or maybe they can be part of their discussion. Okay. Now, based on the case, yeah, we can learn a lot of lessons from this particular case. Apart from what we have been able to elucidate in the key takeaways, we discover that there's a new way through which Farouk has been able to empower Kenyan farmers, especially in the way he has been, loaning the farmers, giving farmers equipment. They come and pay later once they have already been able to be paid their income. So that is a total new way of doing it. It's just like a barter trade, whereby it's a win-win situation. And in entrepreneurship, sometimes you've been hearing about venture capital. Venture capital. Venture capital is where you're hearing Silicon Valley. People, just based on your idea, you can be able to be assisted. But the person assisting you will be able to take some shares in that particular company. Now, apart from that activity of giving credit to the people, this has also been able to open up rural setup. That is through making areas that are honey growing areas to open up. And also the value chain addition that we talked about, the value chain addition in terms of different types of honey. You can be able to see, and they are suited different. That's value chain addition, and that is creativity and innovation, which is the basis of entrepreneurship. Now, elucidate on the factors that made Farouk Jiwa to venture in beekeeping business. Of course, he looked at it and discovered that, well, there's an opportunity here. And that's why in the video you could hear, why honey? You know, honey looks to be very good. And he discovered that that is an area where farmers are facing a lot of challenges. And then how does the conceptualization of entrepreneurship from this case contribute to your understanding of entrepreneurship? You know, first of all, an aspect of how he spots an opportunity, that is entrepreneurship. How he has started a different tripartite model, you know, thinking differently. That's creativity. Introduce a tripartite model. Value chain addition, that is entrepreneurship. Now it makes us understand entrepreneurship. Even him himself, being of the Indian born, coming to Africa and then exploiting the opportunity. Then how is social entrepreneurship manifested in your environment? So that's what you can be able to give me answers. How is it manifested? Maybe you can be able to write, how is it manifested in the environment? For example, those from Pakistan, how is it manifested in Pakistan in terms of which businesses? Okay. I think most of on the chat, in the chat box, I can see quite good answers.
So in Pakistan, a lot of the loans were given at a really low interest rate, so that the small scale businesses or those businesses which are run from home can be set up and can be scaled to a level which can turn the business into a positive cash flow.
Thank you. That's good, Rashid. That is good. That is good. You know, for the sake of solving giving the social value, you know, whenever you are able to help the community in terms of giving them loans, you know,
Sir?
that is powering them. Yes,
I
correct.
have a question. Sir,
Yes.
is it similar to the microfinance in Bangladesh that the Grameen Bank used to do?
Yes, you know, that model, that particular model that's the model that is also replicated in Kenya. The group guaranteeing system, whereby now the farmers as a group, they can be able to get some loans in terms of the equipment from Honeycare Africa. And then also as a group or an association, they can be able to market honey to Honeycare Africa. So it is similar to Grameen, to the Grameen model in Bangladesh. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dawood. Thank you very much. Any other question? Now coming to Zimbabwe, my friends from Zimbabwe can be able, Zimbabwe used to be the producer of maize or corn in Africa at some point, and also tobacco. Anybody from Zimbabwe can be able to tell us how have they been able to promote social entrepreneurship in those in agricultural sector? Zimbabwe? She has left the session. All right. What about Nigeria? I know Nigeria is also a powerhouse in Africa. Aina, you can tell us how maybe social entrepreneurship in Nigeria? Oh, from Namibia. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Aina. Maybe in Namibia. I've never been to Namibia, but I've been to Angola and South Africa. Maybe you can unmute and then tell us.
Excuse me, can you please repeat the question?
The question is that do you have any type of enterprises in Namibia, you know, that practice what we call social entrepreneurship, given that from this case, we are able to learn about social entrepreneurship. That is businesses that are started to help people.
I'll have to think about it. Yes.
Oh, okay. What about talk about in agriculture? Namibia? Okay.
In regards to agriculture is also one of the top 5 sectors or industries that Namibia mainly relies on. The fishing industries, we have the mining, the fishing, and then the agriculture is part of the top 3. And we mostly deal with the production of maize, not maize, mahangu, which is traditional maize basically back home, which is produced in the northern parts of Namibia. And then, of course, processing and producing of cattle and beef. So Namibia is known to be one of the countries that has one of the best beef. And we export to many countries, such as even the US. We recently got in partnership with the US, so we export to the US as well. So when it comes to agriculture, those are the main products, I would say that.
Oh, thank you. Now, can you be able to hear me? Are there farmers who have formed businesses that's under the agribusiness, that is agriculture business? Like, for example, do we have farmers who have come up together to form, say, a company that adds value? Maybe if there's production of that particular beef, they do some value chain addition before it's exported.
To my knowledge, I am aware that some farmers have come together in order so before any meat or product is exported out of the country, the Namibian people have to benefit from it first. I cannot jot down the benefits, but I am aware that anything that is produced within the country, the people in the surrounding community should have access to it. And the price, of course, should also be at the level that people within the country can taste of their own product, basically.
So probably, Aina, I'm challenging you can be able to spot that that opportunity. Probably you can be able to spot it, and then like for instance, in terms of beef, you can do some value addition in beef. And then like for instance, in Kenya, we've got beef, but it's not enough beef. You can be able to export it in Kenya. You can be able to export it in Tanzania, you know, grab that opportunity. So in that you can grow like the way Farouk Giwa grew, you know, saw an opportunity, helping the farmers to come together and then market the product, you know. some types of value addition. So thank you very much for your contribution. Any other person? Maybe from Luxembourg? Becca from Luxembourg, but now you're currently in Thailand. Becca? Oh, maybe she has left. Okay, any other person who can share with us? Okay. Let me sum up and say that entrepreneurship can exist anywhere. You can spot the opportunity and be able to nurture it anywhere. Farouk came all the way from India and done entrepreneurship in Kenya. He has made through Honeycare Africa. Kenya now produces, is among the producer of honey and the honey products and sells it to the world market. So again, with this Honeycare Africa, we've seen social entrepreneurship and green entrepreneurship being fostered in Kenya. So entrepreneurship exists anywhere. And that is my parting shot. And thank you very much. So I return it back to Mohammed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Moses, for your time and for giving this really interesting lecture to our students.
Thank you, sir, for the lecture. It was really informative.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Do we have Dr. Shahid here? I think he has went.
Yeah, he has left.
Left. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, Dr. Moses.
Thank you.
Okay, so students, there are a few announcements. We have a session tonight as well. And there is a reading which we have already shared with you. So please do your pre-readings before the session because that really helps. And also your midterm is due today at 8 p.m. So please don't forget to upload that. You can upload that on Google Classroom as well. Or if that is not working, then you can mail it to me and Sir Asghar. The email addresses are given on the worksheet. Also, the subject line is also given there. So please do write that subject line or else it will be very difficult for us to sort out your midterms from that junk of mails, okay? And that's it from our side. And yeah. Does anyone have any questions regarding anything, midterm or anything?
No. What time is the session tonight?
It's at 10, I guess. Let me check. It had been shared.
I'm at 6 to 6:30 Pakistan time.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's 6 to 6:30 Pakistan time. Okay.
Thank you.
So see you in the evening. Goodbye.
Ma'am,
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, we need to send our midterm to you and Sir Asghar Kazmi, both of you, right?
Yeah, the email addresses are given on the worksheet. Please usko follow kar lena so that easy rahe for us to find your midterm. Okay? Okay, perfect. Also name your file with your name and ERP. That is also written on that worksheet. Please follow all those instructions so that it will be easy for us to find your midterms.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.